What it do, cyber world? It is your girl, the one, the only Ash said it. AshSaidIt.com. AshSaidIt.com, baby babies. This is the Ash Said It Daily podcast show. So you guys know that we always have good information, good positive vibes flowing your way all across the globe. I appreciate you guys so very much. Of course, you can follow your girl across social media at One Love Ash and tune into Food Network this coming week, April the 10th, 2017. 10 p.m. EST. Check your local listings. The show is Help My Yelp. Yes, yours truly is one of the featured Yelpers on the program. We're helping Barbecue Street get their life together because the food was, y'all will see. Y'all will definitely see. And today, my guest is the lovely Beverly Vercher. Beverly, how are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
I am fantabulous. Now, Beverly, everyone has been seeing you across social media. You've been flocking all over, girl. You've basically been on tour. You've been doing speeches, keynotes. You've been featuring with different books, magazines, all across the globe. But let everyone know where you're from, where you represent.
I am from Spartanburg. Well, I'm not from, but I live in Spartanburg, South Carolina now. I'm actually from Lynn, Massachusetts. It's a small town outside of Boston. But I've lived in South Carolina for the past 27 years.
Wow. So, have you always wanted to be a writer?
Actually, I have not. When I was younger, in my teenage years, I wanted to be a singer. I was actually in a group, and we sang with the New Kids on the Block and New Edition. We were all in that circuit in that era. But I guess writing was actually my calling because I wrote all of our songs. But at first, it was the singing that I wanted to do. And as I got older, into my 20s, I got a little shy at some point and didn't want to be on, in the limelight. So I started writing, and that was just my thing. I fell in love with it, and then fast forward 20 years later, I write this amazing book, and here I am back in the limelight again.
Yes, definitely. So, what is your writing process like?
As far as right now, I just write when I can. Okay. I do so much. I still work full time, and I'm traveling a lot. I'm married. Although my children are grown, I do have 2 grandchildren that I try to see when I can. Aww. So I just write when I can, but the actual process of getting the work done is I write fictional stories right now. So I build all my characters first. I give you a background of who they are, all the way down to what they look like. And once I create all of my characters and the role they're going to play in the book, I just start writing the story and just piecing them all in where they belong.
Absolutely. So what was the turning point for you? Be it that you're a full-time mom, you're a full-time wife, you're a full-time worker. When did you come about the moment to write a book?
Again, it was just something I was doing. I had tons and tons of notebooks that I was writing in. I was writing short stories, poems, and I've written other books actually that I just haven't published yet. And I just decided one day, I think I want to go for it. I think I want to try to get published and actually get some of my work out there and just see how people respond. And I actually, my first published book back at the novel, it was a romance novel. I did that in 2008. And so I kind of got my feet wet. It didn't do as well, but it gave me that little bug, and I knew that I wanted to do it again. But I knew I wanted my next book to touch on the romance, but I wanted to have more meaning. I wanted it to be inspirational in a book that people could learn from, as well as get that little romance niche that I know a lot of us women like. But the book is so universal that men and women can read it. I didn't just write it to appeal to the female audience because it's subjects in there that men and women have gone through and that they can relate to.
Absolutely. Now, you said that the novel, Good Hearts Are the Easiest Broken. That was a novel. It's a fictional story. So, yes. Where did you get the inspiration behind it?
I wanted to. There are specific subjects that I wanted to write about. There were certain things that I wanted to write about. I knew that I wanted to put some things in there that I personally had gone through, like the family secret. I had gone through the domestic violence. I had gone through the mental illness. I dealt with that, and there were certain things that I dealt with. And I didn't want to just write another book about me. And I say another, meaning, a lot of people are doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And as a way of not only just not putting all my business out there, but as a way of kind of protecting the people in my life.
Right.
So I decided I'll use those subjects, but in a fictional book. I'll make up the characters and I'll make up the story, but just use those subjects in a totally different way than they happen. And it just worked. I mean, it took me a long time to get it, but I got it and it worked. So I'm very, very proud of it.
Absolutely, as you should be. And as you were saying, a lot of people consider themselves authors, but they go into, like you said, just doing autobiographies all the time and talking about different chapters of their life. Would you ever be open to doing an autobiography?
I will. I've actually started mine.
Okay.
I just don't know if I'll ever publish it or when I'll ever publish it, because when you're telling your story, people don't realize you're telling other people's story that's in your life as well.
Mm-hmm.
And just because something may have happened to you a specific kind of way, the other person may have saw it differently. And I still have a lot of open things in my life that I haven't dealt with from my past yet.
Right.
So I'll be writing it based on the fact that I'm only telling it from my side. And it may not even be right. It may just be something I've been holding on to for years, and I just haven't spoken to the other person about it. So I may one day, but it's not really that important. I started writing not to tell my own story, but write because I just love to write. I just love to come up with amazing stories. So if I do that, it'll be so far in the future. I can't even think of it right now. I'm not saying I won't.
Right,
I'm just
but
saying it's not going to happen anytime soon.
yeah, and I think a lot of it comes into planning. You gotta figure out exactly what works best for you. So I can definitely see that.
Right.
So approximately, how long did it take for you to finish the book?
It took me 4 years. I started it right after I published Back at One the novel, and then I finished it in 2015. Well, actually, that's really more than 4 years if you add it up, but there was a long time that I didn't write. I went on this long binge of not writing for about 2 years where I didn't write anything, and I called it my longest route of writer's block, but I had a lot going on in my life as well at that time, a lot. My mother passed away. I had 2 sisters that passed away. 2 brother-in-laws passed away, all in that 2-year time frame.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on in my personal life that made me like, writing is like the last thing I want to do right now. The creativity just wasn't there, and I just didn't want to do it.
Yeah, definitely. So, and I definitely I commend you on that. I'm so sorry to hear of your losses. But what was able to turn you around on that? What pulled you back into the book?
And I'm sure any other authors out there listening can tell you that your characters will wake you up at night. They will, when you have a story inside you, especially if you've already started it, and even if the story's not finished, you already have, in your mind what's going to happen, how it's going to end, and things like that. Your characters literally will stalk you, like your sleep, like throughout the day. And I know it's just not just me. I know I've spoken to other authors. It's like you think about them like they're actually other people that you know. And it's like you've been watching this soap opera and you're like, wait a minute, I've missed something. It's crazy. I know it sounds absolutely crazy, but that's literally how it was. Like I started this story. I already had in my mind where I was going to go with it. And it really just stopped me. All that time I wasn't writing, I never forgot it. And on top of that, like I have so many people in my life that saw this in me long before I did. So they would ask me all the time, when are you going to finish your book? When are you going to come out with the next book? And I literally got tired of lying. I still have my sister every single week when she called me from Boston. Like, when's the last time you wrote? I was like, oh, yeah, girl, I was writing the other day knowing I hadn't picked up that book for months. But, you know, eventually I just started back. And when I started, it was like, boom, it's done. You know, the book is like 520 pages long. So you can imagine it's a big book.
Yeah.
It only took me 4 months to actually complete it once I started back that second time. It was done.
Absolutely. So, describe to me the feeling that you felt the first time you held your finished book, printed, all that. What was it like?
Oh my goodness. I sat there and I just cried. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming in the mail. I had tracked it. And it just getting that book and looking at it and seeing my hard work finally finished and I read it, you know, I got the 2 copy of course at first and I read over it and I was so happy that I literally cried. It gave me so much joy and just the feeling of accomplishment and it's the feeling of satisfaction that I had never felt in my life before. And again, this wasn't my first book, but I can't even think of like the words to describe how happy I was. And even now I have a copy that I keep in my office. And it's still now, almost 2 years later, I look at it and I just smile. And it's just like, if I never write another book, I'm so grateful for this one.
Oh, that is amazing. Yes, I'm definitely going to be on that journey with you. I'm actually in the writing process myself right now, and
wow.
it's quite the journey. I will say that, so I can understand definitely where you're at. I can definitely see that, and I can't wait to get it printed so I can be filled with jubilation as well.
Oh, definitely, and I'll be looking forward to that.
Absolutely. So, Beverly, you've gone through so much in your life and you're so well accomplished. Now you're a published author, motivational speaker, you're requested all across the country. What advice would you offer to any new up-and-coming authors?
My advice would be to just stay true to you and what your purpose is. That's the only thing that I can say, because you get out here and I met so many other people. I travel so much. I meet so many other authors that I never even knew existed. I didn't even know that people in the world was writing books, you know. And some people are going to be on their journey a little bit further than you.
Yeah.
And it's going to kind of make you feel like, well, I'm lagging behind. I'm not doing something right. My book isn't as good, or, you know. And that's not the case. Either they started before you, or they just may have a little bit more experience than you. But just trust your journey. Trust where you are and just stay true to you. Don't change up how you do things just because someone else is doing differently and it seems to be working a little bit faster. And I had to learn that by meeting so many people that are so accomplished and doing, you know, all these amazing things. And I wanted to kind of play catch up at first. And all it does is slows you down, because when you hit a mark that you're not ready for, you're going to have to take a few steps back. So I'm just like, trust your journey. Trust the story that you're telling, whether it's yours or whether it's fictional, something you made up. Trust it and promote. You got to let people know if they want to book. and that's the only thing I can say is just stay true to who you are and believe in yourself and your gift as a writer. Because anybody can write. Anybody definitely can tell a story. But you have to have a certain kind of gift for people to read it and like really, really love it and really love what something that you created and want to read more of your work. So they can buy anybody's book.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They can go out there and buy anybody's book. I go to these workshops where my book is normally the highest. My book is $25. There are tons of authors in the building whose books may be 10 or 15, but people still come to my table and buy my book at the highest price. And I'm just grateful for that, because I'm that type of person. I don't care how much it costs. If it's something I want, I'm going to get it. My husband hates that, but that's who I am. But that's who I am. So, you know, just stay true to who you are. Your readers will find you.
Yes. And I thank you for saying that, because a lot of people feel as though that, oh, everyone is in a competition and you can't get my readers, and this. Everyone needs to stay in their own lane, because you know, an Ashby book may not be for Beverly Vercher readers, and vice versa. So it's all about knowing your audience and being contented
Right.
where you're at. I think a lot of people
Exactly.
want to be in this competition, and like you said, you're not going to get far in competing with people. You're not.
Definitely not.
And the minute that you understand that and you're able to stay in your lane, that's when the magic happens. That's when the
Exactly.
magic
I've
happens.
learned that, first of all, I've never been a competitive person. I've always believed in girl power. We work better together. I've always believed in that. And thankfully, on this journey, I've met a lot of women that think the same way.
Right.
I have, even though I don't have time to read them, I'm honest with people. When I need them, I'm like, I'm not going to promise you that I'm going to read your book right now, but I will buy it. Even if we make a trade.
Yeah.
If they say, well, just trade each other's books. I have so many books from other authors that I've met. And so I try to support my sisters because we're out here doing the same thing.
Yeah.
We're out here on the same journey. We have a story to tell. You get so much further when you collaborate instead of compete.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I've gotten all these opportunities that I've gotten. I used to live in a small town, Gaffney. There's nothing there, literally, like nothing. So when I decided to get out there and start coming to Atlanta to some events, start going to Charlotte to events, the bigger cities where there are more people, and I made friends. Some of them I went by myself. Because if you take someone with you, you're going to talk to that person the most of the night. I'm going to go by yourself.
Yeah.
Walk up to someone, talk to them, find out who they are, and let them find out who you are. And that's why I've gotten all these amazing opportunities because I'm meeting all these new people, and we're working together. They promote my stuff. I promote their stuff. They congratulate me. I congratulate them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you make the competition, you're separating yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And you may be separating yourself from the people that can get you where you want to go.
Absolutely. And also in that, you miss out on your blessing. You will miss out on your blessing trying to compete with folks and trying to step on folks because guess what? You're not going to get far.
Definitely not. No.
You're not going to get far.
And I try to tell everyone that coming into it. I've had some that I've kind of mentored and helped get on their journey that now need me as a competitor. And I don't buzz. I don't try to, call them out on it. I'm just like, I keep praying for you. God bless you on your journey. That's all I can do. I mean, that's it. But, some people just don't have that same mindset. I'm like, I know I'm out here and I'm grinding and I'm doing this and I know it's best to collaborate.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And when you don't have to collaborate, when you don't have to compete with other people, that's when the magic happens. That's absolutely when the magic happens. So, Beverly, I see so much greatness coming for you, my sister, this year and beyond.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. But let everybody know how they can get in contact with you, your social media stuff, all of that.
Okay. And my last name is kind of difficult to say and spell, but it's V as in Victor, E-R-V-H-E-R. So my website is www.beverlynvercheronline.com. I'm author Beverly N. Vercher on Facebook. I'm B. N. Vercher on Twitter. And I'm Virtuous Gifts on Instagram. And that's VerchuousGifts.com. Virtuous Gifts. And if you search Beverly N. Vercher, it'll bring me up. And my email is contact@BeverlyNVercheronline.com. But if you connect to me on my social media, send me a DM or whatever, if you want to talk, collaborate, if you want to invite on writing or getting published, I'm open to all of that. Also, I have my own line of eyelashes.
Get it?
Premium quality. Yes, they are called Clash, C-L-A-S-H, which is short for Classy Lashes. I have 5 different styles, and they're about to I launched them, did a soft launch last year and got a little feel of how everything was going to go. So I pulled them back, I repackaged them, did new labels, so we're going to do a relaunch in May. 5 different styles are going to come out. I call them my goddess lashes, and they're each style is named after a goddess. So that's another amazing thing, amazing opportunity I got from collaborating with some awesome women on my journey. So, just contact me. even if you just want to talk, I'm here. That's what I'm here for. And you can purchase my book from my website. You can contact me through my website and all that good stuff.
Absolutely. So, Beverly, we appreciate you so much for coming through. I know you got a tight schedule, but being able to fit us through, I really appreciate that beyond words, my sister.
All right, and thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate you. And I see all the wonderful things you're doing, too. And I watch Food Network, so I'll definitely be tuning in on Monday.
Well, thank you so much. And I thank each and every one of you for tuning into the show. Of course, you can check out ashsaidit.com, ashsaidit.com for the latest blog features. Go and check those out. We are moving and shaking. We just collecting, all the different logos. It's looking very colorful on ashsaidit.com. So y'all go check it out and see what else is new. Remember to always stay focused. Be focused, no matter what. Anyone to tell you that you can't do what you want to do, you look them square in the face and tell them, don't believe me, just watch. Watch what I do. Watch me make it happen. Watch me make history. Because that's what we're doing this for. We're doing this for the history books. The takeover is real. Social media is cool. It's fun. It's nice. But real life is so much better. I will holler at y'all later. Deuces.